What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and it looks like we have our villains for the Fantastic Four. Now, a lot of new information has been coming out recently about the Fantastic Four. We have a few plot points that have come out recently, plus Marvel Studios has gotten a new writer for the Fantastic Four. And according to some sources, Sue Storm and Reed Richards have already been cast. I covered this in a previous video. If you want to check that out, go ahead. I'm also going to be talking about some of it in this video, breaking down the villains and the plot that we could see in this new Fantastic Four movie, as well as going over some special presentations that could be coming up, like the Silver Surfer and Nova. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this new report about the villains coming in the Fantastic Four movie. And of course, if you love the Fantastic Four and want to stay up to date on the MCU, be sure to subscribe. And if you subscribe and comment on a video, you enter a giveaway for a chance to win a PS5, an Xbox Series X, some Marvel Legends items, some DC items. It's the user's choice. They pick when they win. So this new report about the Fantastic Four's villains is coming from insider Jeff Snyder, who has been dropping a lot of scoops recently. Now, this comes with the news that I briefly mentioned of the Fantastic Four getting a new writer. But yesterday on the Hot Mic podcast, he said this: "I'm told that Matt Shakman is planning to go very cosmic with his Fantastic Four movie. Lots of 1960s elements, and that the film will feature both Galactus and the Silver Surfer." Now, this is honestly what they should do, and I think this is what a lot of fans would like them to do with the Fantastic Four movie. As long as Galactus isn't a giant cloud in the sky, I think this is what fans want. And I think this is particularly what Kevin Feige wants as well, because you have to remember, this is Kevin Feige's, the president of Marvel Studios, baby. This is his passion project, so he is really involved with all of the decisions that are being made for the Fantastic Four. Now, typically, Kevin Feige doesn't like to do things that have kind of already been done before. He likes to switch things up. And yes, we've had the Silver Surfer before, and yes, we've kind of had Galactus before, but not really. I think you all know what I mean. So having Galactus arrive in the Fantastic Four movie is different, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a comic accurate Galactus in this one. Plus, the Silver Surfer is probably going to arrive before the Fantastic Four movie. If you've been following the channel, you've heard the reports that it looks like Marvel Studios is going to be developing a Silver Surfer special presentation that is going to come out before the Fantastic Four movie. This special presentation is going to be to specifically introduce the Silver Surfer in preparation of him arriving in the Fantastic Four film. And it does seem like this is a plan for Marvel Studios going forward, to introduce some characters in special presentations before they appear in the MCU. And this is great because special presentations allow Marvel to just quickly introduce a character, but not too quickly. It's kind of right in the sweet spot. You don't need a 6-episode Disney Plus series to quickly introduce a character. However, you don't want to introduce a character in 20 minutes. So doing a special that's 45 minutes to an hour plus long is perfect to give us a little bit of an origin story, or whatever story we need to understand what is about to happen with the character. They did this with Werewolf by Night, and I think it worked perfectly. It wasn't an origin story, but they introduced the character. We know who the character is, along with some other characters as well, and Werewolf by Night is going to appear again in the supernatural side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think that was executed perfectly, and that's what's apparently going to be happening with the Silver Surfer. He'll get a special presentation that kind of shows us who he is, what he's about, what he's been doing, most likely for Galactus. Then we'll meet him again in the Fantastic Four film. Now, Jeff Snyder goes on in the podcast to say that they're trying to take the Fantastic Four film to a whole nother level. And that is why they actually got a new writer, Josh Friedman, who was the writer for Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. So they don't have the old writers right now, Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer. But they are still kind of working off the draft of the movie that they created. Here's what Jeff Snyder had to say. Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer's draft of the Fantastic Four was fine, but they brought in that new writer to get it to the level that Kevin Feige and Matt Shakman wanted. Marvel is still open to working with Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer again. So this is really good news, because that means that Marvel Studios really does want this movie to be simply amazing. So they looked at the script that they had before and didn't really think it was that amazing. Now, they didn't necessarily think that it was bad, but they wanted it to be on a whole nother level. And apparently this is going to be going cosmic. The Fantastic Four are apparently going to be in space, which makes sense. Now, I don't think we're going to be seeing them getting their powers in space. Kevin Feige already explained that this is not going to be a true origin story, and reports have told us that they're actually going to be so far into having their powers that they're already going to have kids, Sue Storm and Reed Richards. And them being in space, I think, makes a lot of sense for the plot of this movie. For one thing, we heard a report that they will indeed be parents, but they won't really have their kids much in the film, and if they're going to be in space, well, you're obviously not going to be taking your kids into space in case you run into some problems like a Herald of Galactus, the Silver Surfer, which I'm assuming happens. I'm assuming they're going to be in space for whatever reason, and then they run into the Silver Surfer. They have a battle, and they find out that Galactus is going to be coming to devour Earth, so they head back to Earth. Now, I do have a cool little theory about why the Fantastic Four could be in space, and it does involve Nova. Some of you might see where I'm going with this. What if the Fantastic Four are investigating some things that happened after Thanos' snap and defeat? Well, we know Thanos decimated Xandar, so perhaps they make their way over to Xandar to kind of see the remains of it. This could bring Nova into the picture. If the Nova Force has found its way to the last remaining survivor, this is Nova, and perhaps the Fantastic Four could run into him on Xandar. Perhaps he's the only survivor, and they could offer to take him back to Earth. This is where they could potentially run into the Silver Surfer as well. The Silver Surfer obviously wouldn't see Xandar as a good target for Galactus because nobody would be alive on it since Thanos decimated it. So it probably wouldn't be enough fuel for Galactus. It wouldn't satisfy his hunger since there are no living people on it. However, the Silver Surfer could see the Fantastic Four and realize that they obviously came from somewhere. He could figure out that they came from Earth, and that's when he goes, okay, cool, got a new planet for Galactus to go devour, Earth. That's when the Fantastic Four go to Earth and they figure out a way how to stop him. And this is most likely where they'll create the ultimate nullifier. Although, if they go comic accurate, this could lead to a whole other story that could be really cool in the Fantastic Four. Since it is going to be apparently a cosmic film, perhaps the Fantastic Four don't go back to Earth. Perhaps they run into the Watcher like they do in the comics, and he tells them that the only way to actually defeat Galactus and save Earth is to get the ultimate nullifier from Galactus's homeworld. This would keep them in space, which makes sense if it is going to be a mostly cosmic film. In the comics, Johnny Storm goes and he gets it from the base of Galactus, and the ultimate nullifier is the only known weapon in the entire universe that was capable of inspiring fear in Galactus. The ultimate nullifier has been described as the universe's most devastating weapon, and it basically can just kill any target that the wielder chooses, and it does this through the violation of the law of conservation of mass. However, there is kind of a catch. Your mind has to be super strong to wield it. If your mind isn't powerful enough to wield it and use it, then the user will die as well. So the new Fantastic Four movie is getting some changes for a very good purpose, to make the movie fantastic, pun intended. And I love that they're bringing in Galactus and the Silver Surfer. It's going to be a classic Fantastic Four movie. However, I don't think that Galactus is going to be the next big bad. Now, I've actually seen a lot of debate about this online, and I have to agree with the people that state Galactus shouldn't be a big bad. And the reason for that is Galactus isn't necessarily evil. I mean, he goes and he devours planets and he kills thousands and millions of people, but that's just who he is. He has to satisfy that hunger. That is kind of why he is Galactus. He's not doing this because he wants to take over the entire universe. He's doing it to satisfy his hunger. And in fact, Eternity, the cosmic entity Eternity, even said that Galactus was necessary for the universe, that he brings the universe balance. He's not personally seeking out Earth. He's not personally going, I want to kill the Fantastic Four, I want to kill the Avengers, at least not at first. He doesn't really have a truly villainous motive to try and destroy all of these planets. He doesn't seek to conquer the world. He doesn't seek to conquer the universe or the multiverse. He just simply does what Galactus does, devours. So I don't think the motivating factors are really there behind Galactus for him to be a big bad of a new saga. I think Dr. Doom or Magneto would be really good big bads for the next saga we have coming up after the multiverse saga. But I would like it is apparently, according to this report, Galactus being a Fantastic Four villain. With his herald, the Silver Surfer, who I am assuming is kind of going to, turn against him and help the Fantastic Four. Now, Kevin Feige might switch this up a little bit just to, try to be different, because that's what he does, and most of the time that does work. And since he's got a new writer to take the Fantastic Four to the next level and is personally overseeing this and making sure that it is going to be a great movie, I have faith in this movie. I don't think Kevin Feige will release this movie to the public unless he absolutely loves it. So I think we're going to get a proper Galactus, the Silver Surfer entering the MCU, and a really great Fantastic Four movie. But hey, let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you can enter our giveaway and stay up to date on the Fantastic Four and the MCU. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.